Right, as the front of the traction engine is pretty much finished, I'm going to now change the drawing. I'll swap that drawing for the front end with the one with the horn plates on. Right, I've changed my drawing. Here are the horn plates, the spectical plates. Now, when these are made, there's two of those, and put together they form like the rear chassis. As the front is like the front chassis, these bolt on the back of the boiler to form the rear chassis with the boiler in between. So the boiler is like part of the chassis as well. But there's a lot of marking out. All these holes are countersunk holes from the back, which would be beside the boiler and then round headed on the outside to make it look like rivets. That's the axle, the rear axle, which the rear wheels will fit on. Then you've got the third shaft, second and first. What I've got to do, be very careful. When I've marked this, I'll mark this out and get the center there. Then I've got to get that distance right from the center of that shaft to there. That way then the gears, which are all over here, will mesh properly. Also on this drawing, as you can see, you've got the assembly of the rear. So that'll be the near side wheel, the axle on this side, that's the offside wheel. There's a winding drum in there. There'll be a brake drum somewhere. So there's a lot of work to do. On the back wheel, you've got a massive hub, 20 spokes per wheel. So it's a lot to do. On there, they're showing that you're fitting strakes, which fit on the top of the wheel at an angle. Well, I'm not doing that. I'll be putting a ring on all the way around and then bonding on some more rubber tyres like I have on the front wheel. And there what you see, this is the horn plates, they're in there. The boiler would fit in there. Back axle, and then there's the third shaft center line there, lining up on that line there. Also what I'll do, I've never cut any gears, but later on I'll try cutting a gear. Also you can see there's some bevel gears to be made. So that'll be an exercise in its own. That'll be interesting. Right, these two plates are for the horn plates. I've blackened one out to mark out for all my scribe lines. And then what I'll do is I'll line them up good and clamp them both together and do all the drilling through both. Also, what I've got for the horn spectical plates is another piece of plate, which I'll also blacken them up so I can mark out the spectical plates. Right, I've also blacked out the piece of plate for the spectical plates. This black will help me see my scribe lines. Right, let's start marking these out. Right, as you can see, I've marked out and centre punched all the holes in the horn plates. What I'll do is clamp that onto the other horn plate side, do all the drilling and the cutting out where it needs to before I take them apart. That centre there, you can see that shaft there needed to be the right distance from the second shaft so the gears will mesh up properly. Also, I've marked out the spectical plates. This one will have a round hole in it there. That'll be cut to fit on top of the boiler. The other line will be where there's going to be a flange welded on there with some holes. They'll bolt onto the top of the boiler. And then there'll be some flanges welded on there. The same with the other spectical plate. I don't think you need to see me drill all of this. So in my next video I'll have all of this drilled and cut out ready. So please subscribe to my channel and join me as I build a 2-inch scale Fowler's Showman's traction engine.